And hello again, welcome back to another Binding of Isaac. Let's go ahead and get started here. And there we go. Tried decreasing the volume somewhat. The music is still way too loud. So, killing things. Yeah. Oh, a pill. I mentioned pills in the last video. They sit in the same slot as cards. They always show question mark when you first pick them up. They all have different effects, but the effects are consistent with the color of the pills in a given playthrough. But each new playthrough is randomized again, so you won't know what it is when you just, if it's yellow, if it's one thing this time with the yellow-white, it won't be the same the next time. But it will be consistent within the same playthrough. You also see that the message question mark, question mark, question mark changes to whatever it is in the future. Often these are stat increases or decreases, such as tears up, tears down, etc. So it's a toss-up. You can really cripple yourself with spells, but you can also really enhance yourself. Some of them have very little effect or are purely cosmetic. So let's see what this one is. Bombs are keys. This one's, it's simpler. It's one of the lesser effects. It switches your bombs and your keys amount. So let's go on. Nothing much here. I'll check out that. Oh, it's like shooting angry fish in a barrel. Oh dear. God, I'm getting... You stupid spiders. Oh. This is a trinket. I don't want this trinket. But, trinkets have their own slot up at the top. They have various effects. I'll touch on them as we run into them. This is the tick. It heals when you go, if you have it, it heals you a bit before you go into any given boss fight, and it lowers the health of the boss a little bit. Unfortunately, it's one of those items where once you have it, you can't get rid of it. So you can never pick up another trinket if you take that one. Most of them you can just pick up a new trinket and drop the old one, but the tick forces you, because it's literally attached to your head, it forces you to keep it, period. So I don't want that. Oh dear. Shoot you full of tears. No! Yes, I blew it up. Let's see what we got in here. A ghost baby. Ghost babies, or ghost baby, is a familiar. There are a number of them in game. They follow you around. Usually they fire whenever you fire. And Ghost Baby is special because its shots are ethereal, so it goes through rocks or that sort of barrier. As you can see, its shots are slightly grayed out and faded. And so while mine will hit something... Well, that's not a good example. Yeah, there you go. You can see it better there. Its shots go right through. Well, since we've covered all those bases, and I don't have any bombs anymore because that pill switched them up. Let's see. I'm pretty hurt, so I don't want to bother with that right now. I'll go right to the boss. Hopefully after the boss I'll be able to heal up a bit. Bosses always drop hard. So this is the Duke of Flies. This one's a little tough for newcomer, well, maybe not so tough. More tedious sometimes than anything. He keeps spewing out flies, and you just have to deal with them and keep trying to focus on him while whittling away at his flies. sometimes they'll spit out those bigger red flies, which take slightly more hits. Or he'll do this off thing and scatter his flies everywhere. Wow, he went down. Went down a bit easier than I remembered. Yeah, and he leaves behind a cloud of annoying flies. There we go. And breakfast. Yeah, you may not have seen it there real briefly, but yeah, there were flies on that too. Implication here being that all the food his mother gives him is rotten and bad. Ooh, one of the rare times it's a pure item. Oh, wow. This is a devil item called, well, let's just pick it up here. The Pact. It says damage up, but I think it actually just increases our tiers instead. Some of these things are mislabeled in-game. Yeah, well, it does increase damage just a little bit by 1 point, but it increases your tiers by 2 points. No, I do not want you to quit the game. So yeah, that is solid right there. That'll be really helpful. Oh! You'll also notice up here the blue soul hearts. Those are temporary. Once you lose them, they're gone. And this is a hidden room. I could have bombed my way in through if I had any bombs, but I didn't. If it happens to be adjacent to a curse room, it will always have the door into this room available. So that's how I was able to get in. Unfortunately, it'll cost me more health. The Pact was what gave me those extra soul hearts. But yeah, the Pact is really solid, so this is good. Off we go. We're in a pretty good position right now at the beginning of Cellar 2. Now, I'm going to try and avoid any red heart damage on this level. See, whether or not you get a devil room at the end of a level is random ultimately, but you get a greater chance, or you get a higher percentage chance, if you take no actual red heart damage during the level, and separately another percentage chance increase if you don't take any red heart damage during a boss fight. So if you take no damage in both, you've got a very good chance of it appearing. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Fortunately, it doesn't care about blue hearts, soul hearts. And in fact, just to that end, I'm going to go ahead and go in here right now. And then go back over there. This is, Widow. This is one of the harder bosses for the first area. Because she'll, yeah, do that and spew spiders and spider nest eggs and stuff. One of the tactics I found that's useful, if I can pull it off here, well, is that when she jumps around, she'll crush whatever she lands on, including the thing she just spawned. Wow, the Pact really helped out with that. And there's the devil room, like I said. And we got Cat o' Nine Tails, and you can see the bruises and bleeding on his head now. And on his back there. Yeah, basically it increases the speed of your shots, how fast they travel across the screen. One of the few items that does that, basically because it represents you getting beaten with a Cat o' Nine Tails. Well, let's go in here. Oh, don't. Rarely you'll have this happen. This is Krampus. Ow. Every so often at random, Krampus appears in the devil room instead of the devil, like normal. He, is a mini-boss here that basically has attacks similar to some of the other devil-like creatures in the game. The best bet is just to keep moving around him to dodge his shots, firing as you go, and keep an eye out when he does that scream thing. Dodge to one of the four corners so as to avoid his shots. Krampus, interestingly enough, to my knowledge, I'll just finish him off here. Yes! You get a gift from Krampus. You get coal and a bomb for free. Yes, coal. Now what this does, other than smear your face with coal dust, is it makes your shots do more damage the farther they travel. So if you're hitting an enemy at close range, it does less damage, or normal damage, but if it gets further away before it hits an enemy, it will do much more damage. Or not much more, I don't know, but a good deal more. Now, even though I've completed the boss and can move on to the next level, I'm going to go ahead and continue exploring. Because it's often good to pick up every item you can, while you can. Another spike room. Because it'll pay off in the long run. Because more items means more survivability. And as you can see, we are just destroying. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we've got a good damaging setup right now, so this is fantastic for this run. Ooh, explosives. I'll go in here. This is the heart, as you can see. It increases your hit points up another step and permanently, and you have a beating heart attached to your chest hanging out. That's kind of gross. But this also heals you if you have any damage. It heals you to full health. Not all of the items that give you life do that, but the heart is one of them. Okay, I'm going to blow up. Blue rocks here often have soul hearts in them, so it's always good to blow up blue rocks. Sometimes they'll have other things. In fact, there's one item that you can only get from blowing up rocks, pretty much. And another bomb. And a challenge room. Oh, wow. This is a skeleton key. Basically, it gives you 99 keys, meaning you will pretty much never run out of keys over the course of the game. There aren't that many doors and chests to open. This is, so, yeah, totally worth it. No. I hate those fly things. Yeah. For some reason, the early level challenge rooms seem to drop both two groups at once at the beginning. Normally you have 3 waves, but for some reason it drops both the little black flies and attacking more dangerous flies that get shot. I'm going to open this gold chest. Awesome. Now having all these keys is going to be a real boon over the course of the game, because it means I'm not going to have to worry so much about always getting keys. Usually that's really difficult. Also, I wanted to say about Krampus before I forget. Krampus, as near as I can tell, is a figure from German Christmas folklore. He's kind of a counterpart to Santa Claus. He's often portrayed as a hairy figure, I think, or dark figure anyway, of some manner or description, who, I'll come back to the shop in a moment. I'll get to show you the shop for the first time, I think. Well, maybe, I don't remember, but I wanted to get these goodies here first. Oh, and bombs penetrate 2 blocks in, so you can do that. Cool. That is the item I mentioned that is dropped by blowing up blue rocks. It gives you a +2 boost to your damage. So it's pretty worth it if you can run across it. It'll just pop up if you blow up a blue rock and it happens to drop that. Okay, we've got some items here. The compass, this is really nice. It shows you all the various symbols. I'll go ahead and pick that up because I'll give you an opportunity to see it in effect too. And I don't have quite enough money for anything else. Huh, but there's an interesting gap up there next to the treasure room, so that might be a secret area. I'll see if I can bust that in. Oh, one moment. Interruption. And we're back. Just my dad had come by to tell me that he was dropping Mom off at dialysis. So, let's see. Oh yeah, I'm going to blow a hole in this wall. That's what I was about to do. Awesome. Sometimes it can be as low as 3 pennies or 6 pennies. It's often 9 pennies, and any one of those pennies can randomly be something better, like a nickel, which is what the darker silver ones were. And if you see a light silver one, that's a dime, and that's really awesome. Also, these stores can sometimes randomly be greed, which is, you know, the 7 Deadly Sin mini-boss. And I will take this card, basically because I'm going to try to aim at another devil room next level. So we've pretty much done all the damage we can do here. So we're going to move on. What I was saying about Krampus earlier before we got interrupted was that he's sort of a counterpart to Santa Claus, from what little I've heard, in which basically he's the one that gives children, you know, coal or switches in their stocking, switch in this case being a small whip kind of thing used to spank children. So he's kind of the counterpart. He punishes the bad kids. So instead of Santa giving the coal, as it is here in America, it's actually a completely separate person or figure. So he's kind of a dark counterpart to Santa. I'll let you watch this. Yeah, they're crapping on him. That's right, they're crapping on him. How do they even project that far? That's disgusting. Anyway, here we are in the catacombs. Die. Awesome. The scapula and a blue rock. Just to get the scapula, you've been blessed. It doesn't seem to do much of anything but give you a glowy light around you at this point. What it does is if you drop to 1 heart, if you reach 1 red heart left, I think either then or if you take 1 more point of damage, it basically will give you a soul heart to protect you, basically. So basically it gives you a little bit of life when you're almost dead, so... Oh, I hate these rooms. Oh wow, we got out of that pretty handily, but normally that's just brutal because those flies can move about, but you can't into the open areas, or the empty areas where there's a pit. So they can just fly about you and shoot you to their heart's content while you're kind of pinned down by fire. That's really bad. And here's this. Oh, ooh, the steam sail on sale. That's kind of weird. It makes everything on sale. If you see the red price, it's basically half off. And you get it for cheaper. That is pretty awesome. Sometimes this guy, sometimes it will be Greed, the Sin incarnation, mini-boss that you'll have to fight in various powered-up forms, either as standard or some other form. Again. Okay. Oh, and you'll notice you can see the icons for the different rooms, so that's from the compass. And, oh god, these guys. Say hello to the, okay, hold on, I gotta deal with this fly. These are the butt lickers. Ah, troll bomb. Yeah, those come up rarely. They'll follow you. That's a bomb that actually follows you and blows up. But the butt lickers, those are the little round ball-like creatures. Yeah, they're called butt lickers. They move around typically in lines, apparently licking each other's bums or something of that order. So, ew. Makes me, I wonder if he's seen the human centipede. If you haven't, don't. Just don't. Nasty film. Nasty film. Let's see. Well, since I want to get to the boss as early as possible before I lose more. These guys basically are like the zombies in the first level, but I don't think I want to give him a chance to, if I can help it. There we go, killed him. But he will spew a kind of green blob that explodes on contact like a bomb. So those things can pin you down with explosives. It can be really bad. Oh, we got the hollow. Now the hollow here, it just goes in diagonal formation. You can often stay in one place and be relatively safe. The hollows are interesting because they're a good example of a worm creature. There are a number of worm creatures in game, from Larry Jr. to these guys to different ones. And worm creatures are interesting because each of their segments is a distinct part. So if you hit them with poison, for example, in several parts at once, like from the black beans, it will poison all of them separately and dish out damage separately to each bit, causing multiple poison damage. Meaning poison is really nasty against these kind of guys. Oh man, we got one of the... this... I'll just let you see what it does. That's right, pageant boy. Apparently, Isaac's mother also, in addition to everything else, forced him into beauty pageants. Okay. But you get money from it, so that's okay, I guess. Oh, I hate these things. Oh, I hate them so much. These are greed heads. Heads of greed. If their shots or they hit you, you lose money. Some of that money lands on the floor and you can regain it, but some of it is permanently lost. Oh, I hate it so much. They're not easy to deal with here. Die. Because those guys can show up in areas where, you know, if you have the misfortune of being in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of room, those things can really be a number. Like, if they had spawned in this type of room here, you would have had to have walked a long distance while they're shooting at you just to try to get at them or get at the right angle. Oh, the white flies. I don't think I've talked about them yet. The white flies that appear here hover around... Ow. They hover around not golden. They hover around corn poo. Yeah, that's poo laced with pieces of corn. That's what they appear around. They're just... the corn poo is just a variant of a normal poo. If you break their area, they turn hot. If you break their little poo pile, they get hostile. They're completely undamageable. They don't take damage in this while they're in this state, but they can hurt you. So sometimes it's worth killing them off just so you don't run into them on the return trip through a room. They also take a lot of hits, period. You'll see them paired up with other enemies, such as one of the variations on greed appears late in game that has one of these flying around him so that it blocks your shots, and even if you kill a greed, it turns into a red fly and continues to attack you. Interestingly... Ooh, chest. Oh, it's just a card. Oh, Judgment. Awesome. Judgment is one of the really powerful cards. I want to be in a more laid out room here for this. Oh, again, really? Come on, go down, go down. Ow. Stop stealing my money! You jerks! Yes. Okay. Judgment. Awesome, awesome, awesome card. One of the best cards in the game. It does this. Spawns a beggar baby. Now, there are two kinds of beggar babies. One is a normal baby with a little sign, and it basically, you give it money, and it rewards you with items, and eventually, or it rewards you with normal items like hearts or keys or bombs. And and if you give it enough money, it will disappear and leave behind a special item like those you can find in item rooms. This is the devil variant. Instead of money, he wants hearts. And he will give you a or usually a devil room item. So I'm going to do this. Oh, you see that? It's shut. These rooms are only, the ones with the two crossed swords over them are only available if you have full health. I should have gone in there, but it doesn't matter really. Let's see what this pill is. Cheers up. That's awesome. But, yeah, I want him to give me an awesome item. Come on, give me the item. Okay, another card. The Emperor, great. Oh, save me more time, come on. Yeah, there you go. Oh, we got Maggie. Maggie's another familiar. She just fires red shots. I think they might be more damaging than the usual shots. So, yeah, that's good. And we've got two potential spots for bombing. I wonder if there was a heart in the shop. Since I've got so much money, I'm going to swing by there real quick. See if there's any remaining hearts. Nope. I bought them out. Let's see. I think I can afford to at least waste one bomb. Dang, nabbit. Those are one of the other two places, and I don't have enough bombs to spare, really. Well, let's just use the Emperor. We already cleared out the room, so the boss isn't here, obviously. And on we go to the next level. Let me see, I was trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. We got a poo for a present. That's awful. God, what kind of mother was his mother? See, that's one of the really interesting things about this game. Even though you get an intro to his mother as the main villain of the series, who wants to kill Isaac as a sacrifice, you also get glimpses that are not shown in the original clips, the original opening, that hint at what kind of life Isaac was living. Rotten food, being health power-ups like dinner is, something rotten and whatever. There's one where it's dessert and it's a bag of dog food. These kinds of things. So it really points toward a disturbing pattern of child abuse. Yeah, these little worms spit out attacks. The red one is Clot, and this is, I forget what these are called off the top of my head. Bomb. I need those. Make a beeline for the treasure. No. Mitre, or I don't know how it's pronounced. Basically, it's another blessed item. It doesn't have any overt effect. what it does is it gives you an increased probability that a given heart drop will instead be a, I forget what it's called, it could be a spirit heart, I'll have to look it up later, but basically it's a potentially permanent heart. I'll talk about them more if it pops up. This is a blood machine, I don't know if I mentioned what it does. The arcade, by the way, you open the arcade with a penny that you have to pay to get in, unlike most doors which require keys. I don't think I'm going to mess with anything right here at the moment. I might do so later. It might be a little dull. Please, leave messages if you find that kind of stuff really dull, because then I won't show it on camera, but, oh, God. Yeah. If you keep pounding on these guys who have their skulls down, while their skull is down, they won't open up for you to wound them. You can only wound them when they're up, except for the fleshy-headed one over there. That one is always exposed, but shoots more shots. So it kind of traded protection for damage dealing. So that one you can kill, the red ones you can kill off while their head is down. Still. Explosives. Yep. You may notice these filled in holes here. If you come back into the room after you've left, they'll just appear as normal flooring. Kind of interesting. Oh, you... Okay, like I said last time, these guys regenerate, as you just saw the eyed one. Do. Ow. Yeah. Die. Yeah, those guys are nasty. And let's see what's in the shop. Ooh, a bag, Mom's purse. Mom's purse lets you get 2 trinkets. Normally you can only ever carry 1. It will give you 2 trinkets. I'll take the soul heart and this pill, which should increase my tears. Epic shots. Now, by the way, just because the stats are shown here this way, you can essentially transcend those limitations, because certain items function in different ways. Sometimes they're multipliers of what you already have. Brimstone is an example of that, I believe, where it multiplies whatever your base damage is, rather than just being all damage itself. There we go. Oh, I hate those guys. The heads, of those 2 heads, which are very similar to the heads you see in the basement, the white ones float around and shoot at you, while the other ones just try to follow you around and close and hit you. If you hit the red ones, they'll explode, but I hate these things. Oh, these red ones will explode with shots there, and you should dodge it. Oh, slow down. We've got to slow down real big time. Normally, because I have such damaging shots right now, I'm not having much trouble with those guys, but normally they're a real headache. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can't get a double room. Oh, the Fallen. One of the more unique bosses. You'll notice his pattern of attack being similar to Krampus. The nasty thing with him is when you get him down to about half life, well, you'll see. He does that. And now there are 2 of him who will all pursue their own attacks, including ramming you. Ow. Spelunker. It's a nice item to have later. And what's this called? The Fallen is interesting because instead of dropping one of the normal boss items, which tend to increase health or other stats, he drops Devil Room items. But I don't want that item because I mentioned it in still nothing particularly good. The blue one is Bobby. He's basically a weaker version of Maggie, who is red. His shots are just normal white, and I don't think they do as much damage as Maggie's does. Cat's Head is good. It's a pretty good item. I don't think I want to spend 2 hearts on it. Basically, it lets you spawn flies around you that help attack enemies, and each time you use it, it spawns a bit more flies, and it recharges every room, but I think I'm going to have to pass. So that said, I'm going to go back and take advantage of those other things now. So, let's see what's in this room. Got a red chest. We got the dead cat. I hate the dead cat. Oh, the dead cat, it's basically it gives you 9 lives, like a cat. Where you literally have, if you die, you just simply restart in the room you were last in with 1 less life, and you have 9 lives in total. It also drops your hearts, no matter how high they are, to 1 heart, period. That sucks really hard, because only having 1 heart, you can go ahead and get more items after that that build up more hearts, but if you die, your hearts all reset to 1 heart again. And having only 1 heart can trap you in a situation where you've got a boss that's too tough to beat on just 1 heart. So you'll basically get stuck going back into that boss fight over and over trying to win and just dying over and over until you lose all your lives. So I'm not going to mess with it this run because I've got some pretty decent setups going right now and a good deal of hearts. So spending it on doing that, it's a bad idea. Now, there is a special unlockable if you get the dead cat, the paw, or at least have the paw, and the cat's head. Although I don't think I can... Actually, I could do that if the Devil Room isn't closed. I might do that. Because if you get all 3, you can... it has a special effect. But since I left the room, the Devil Room might not be there now. It might have disappeared. So I won't get that chance. Are you still there? Let's see. If it is, I'll take a risk because... No, it's not. Crap. Oh well. If you get the paw, the cat's head, and the dead cat, and get all 3, you only have to have the cat's head or the paw and use it once for it to count as having had it. So you can have either one. And if you get all 3 items, you transform into Guppy, which is a cat that's flying, can spawn flies to attack your enemies, and generally is pretty kick-ass. But it's... Ooh, money. But the cat it's hard to get, and it's almost always pretty bad if you only end up with 1 life. But still, it's good to get it at least once. Hearts. Now, I don't have much money, so I might as well go ahead and do this. Key, like I need a hole in the head. Need more hearts. A little bit of money. The vending machines, or not the vending machines, the slot machine here is a pretty decent chance of getting stuff. You'll get pills sometimes. Sometimes you'll get pretty flies, which are a defensive fly. I'll mention that if they come up. Full health. Awesome. Healing. That is awesome. Usually, that is really nice. You usually don't get that. Pretty fly. We got one. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see there, but it rotates around you closely. You can have up to 3 familiar creatures, that is, like little flies or other things like it, that orbit really close, and those ones that orbit really close like that, they block shots. So if you have a full 3, you've got a fairly good chance of blocking any given shot at you. So that is really nice. Every one of those helps a little bit. Now, this guy here, he plays the shell game, so to speak. Basically, you hit him, give him a penny. I'll just show it off here real quick. Oh, no, I don't have any penny. Well, I'm going to go to show you off this, too. So, takes half a heart, spits out some money for you. And he'll show off what he's going to give you. I believe that's completely random. There's a 1 in 3 chance, basically, of selecting the right one. If it's wrong, he lets loose a little fly. If it's right, he'll basically give you 2 of whatever he showed you. It's okay. I don't really want to mess with getting more money and doing all that right now, so I'm just going to go ahead. But it can be worth it because his each of these kind of random little mini games, the slot machine, the fortune teller's machine, the the heart to coin machine, the blood machine, that's what it is, and the I forget what they all are, but off the top of my head now, but basically they all have a special item that you can only get by them dropping it, usually. For example, no toilet paper. Yeah, that sucks. I always wonder what you should do if you go to someone's house and they don't have any toilet paper and they all have to start using the bathroom. That sucks even more because you have to go and say something. Too many flies. Much buzzing. Oh, and the champion fly dropped up. More health. I'm going to save that for when I'm low on life. Oh, these. Oh, I hate these. It's very hard to get through these without taking some damage. Basically, they jump really high in the air, drop down at some place perpendicular from where you were, and basically shoot off at you in all 4 directions. So it can be hard. This time I got lucky because I was able to deal enough damage to kill them pretty easily, and yeah, these things, yeah, they're dead. I killed them. Yeah. Oh, the black bean again. That'll be helpful. But those guys, they're a real pain in the butt because oftentimes you'll have them spawn, like, say, in this kind of room or something like that. And you'll be limited in where you can navigate to escape their shots, so it can be ugly. Oh, awesome. Gold chest. And another gold chest. Thank goodness I have skeleton keys. Get a card. The Devil. One of the more powerful cards. It gives you... it basically transforms you so you dish out a lot more damage and have a kind of unholy appearance. I'm going to drop that for the moment here. Let's see what's in here. Oh, a bunch of keys and bombs. Totally worth it. Let's see. I'd like that for this boss fight. Oh, whatever. I'll just go ahead and leave the pill here for now and come back for it. And take the Devil card with me too far. To help me wail on the boss. Because when you've got as many shots as I do, that's just crazy. Having a boosted damage is destructive. Fistula. This guy breaks apart into a lot of different pieces. And normally he drops those worms that charge you. But I killed them all. Yeah, he'll appear as mini-bosses in pieces. Normally if you fight him as a full boss, he's this big, huge one at start, but you often find him as a mini-boss in various places throughout the game. Oh, these... Oh, no. Ah! Yeah, these are statues. You can't kill them. all you can do is defeat everything in the room, and then they'll shut off. So, yeah, they're really frustrating. You cannot kill them. And the green ones are especially bad because, as you saw, they drop explosive shots. And this is Greed. You can see he's a hung figure. He's got a little noose around his neck. And he shoots these shots, like his heads. If they hit you or he hits you, you will lose money. And all he dropped was money. And that was it. That kind of sucks. It's interesting that he's hung. The figure of Greed is akin to Judas, actually. I mention this because I don't know if many people know this. Judas is mentioned again in the book of Acts, which comes after the book of Luke, which is the gospel, in which Judas is overcome with grief at his betrayal of Jesus. Oh, God. Shut up. It's hard to commentate when you guys are screaming. Oh, crap. Well, that was close. Well, Judas in Acts is overcome with grief at his actions and the betrayal of Jesus. So, I'll go ahead and let this... Yeah, that's what they do. They just spew off at random. But in response to this grief that he feels about what he's done, he commits suicide, wherein he uses the silver to purchase a field, and he hangs himself. And that's how Judas ends his life. He hangs himself. Although in Acts, I believe it also mentions that his guts basically split open and fell out of his body after he hanged himself. So his guts just kind of fell out. And the field was referred to, basically as this cursed place afterwards. Although in other variations, Judas returns the money to the Pharisees. Feeling that he is ashamed of his actions, he tries to give the money back to them. But because it's blood money, the Pharisees cannot take it back as a donation to the Jewish synagogue. So instead they use it to buy a field, which, let's see if I can do this. No. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Anyway, that was a bad move. Didn't really get much forward. No, not this close. But, Judas himself is an interesting figure. Some scholars actually think that Judas might have been not seeking to betray Jesus to the authorities, but rather to push Jesus into a overt political action. Basically by pitting him against the authorities. Some scholars think that Judas thought Jesus would defend himself from arrest and basically, overthrow the authorities and become a political power, a literal king. And apparently Judas may have been trying to force Jesus' hand in that way. And when he just basically submits to the arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, Judas ends up having betrayed him. So that's another possibility that some scholars have discussed might have been part of why Judas betrayed Jesus. He may have sought to make his movement, the early Christian movement, into a political force of rebellion, which some people did want at the time. And this is Monstro 2. You remember Monstro 1? This is his leftovers. We killed him last time, and now he's back. And more powerful than ever. And now I will become a monster. Oh, my shots are more damaging now. Normally, if you had the normal appearance, you would Yeah, that thing. Basically, your tactics with this is about the same as usual Monstro, but with all this added bullet hell. Yeah, they'll die to that too, so... Oh yeah. Yeah! I can do this. If you can do this, yeah, you basically just run from one side to another like this, you can get him in a loop, in which he'll continually fire back and forth. Wow. Well, that'll help. You can see the poison beating at him. And he's dead. Awesome. And we get the shoe, Mom's shoes. Mom's heals, it raises up my shot. So now they travel farther, combined with the coal, that means they'll do more damage too. And since greed was taking over the shop, let's see. Oh, I hate these guys. I hate a lot of these guys. These are babies. Yeah, for some reason the second wave is kind of a break. It's just the normal hoppy one from the first level. And then the third wave is nice. These guys are bad because you cannot hit them head on. If you just fire at them normally, your shots are not going to have any effect. But if you have to hit their brain in the back, or whatever they've got back there, to wound them. So they're kind of tough. I found the best way to deal with them is to not try to attack their front or back, but their side. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, you can hit them from the side. Your shot may count. They're also vulnerable to penetrating shots, such as the arrows item and brimstone. And of course they'll succumb to poison just like everything else. There we go. Awesome. Well, that's that. Since I used my card, I want to go back and grab that healing before I move on. You can never have too much healing. Since I've got 8 bombs, let's see if there's something here. Nope. Nothing there. But yeah. Judas. We'll be seeing... Ah, there we go. Money! Yeah, but I find the best tactics with the knights to be to aim at their side when they're moving that, and keep your distance, because if you get too close, they will charge you, run at you directly, and change the direction quite suddenly in an attempt to get at you. So yeah, they're pretty bad. They're one of the tougher enemies in the game. The babies, the floaty, screamy banshee things that you saw earlier, they're native to a level that we're not going to actually see right now, called the womb, or utero, or in utero. Basically the uterus or womb, which we'll see later, and in a later Let's Play probably. So, moving on. We are about to the end game now for the first time in this run. Or not the first in this run, but yeah, more poo in a box. And he gets mocked by one of the other kids. The boss for this end of this final level, you'll notice it doesn't say Depths 2, it says simply the Necropolis, which is a burial place of the dead. But the boss here, yeah, I don't want to. Oh. Those guys are nasty, and there are many variations of them. Or not many variations, but there are other variations. And if your mind's in the gutter and you think it looks like a woman's naughty bits, well, yeah, they do look like vaginas. Or not vaginas, but labia, I should say, But yeah, and I don't think that's non-intentional. I think that's quite intentional. Mom is a horrific figure in this game, and this is not the only place you see sexual imagery. Oh, this is a useless item. This is more of a gag item almost. It is the teleport item. I can click it and it will teleport you to a random room. I don't want to do that because it could teleport you to the boss room. I don't want to go to the boss room right now. I want to clear out the level, get goodies first. But yeah, this marks the end of the standard levels. Oh, these guys are bad. You hit them, they'll just watch. Yeah, you hit them. Interrupted by flies. When you hit them, they will just wander about normally and spawn those. Yeah, those fly orbiting me killed that. If you hit it, it will spit out more dangerous flies and will lose some of the flies that are the outside of the hive, which is what this is, a kind of person hive. And then if you strip off all the flies, it'll give you one of the big flies right there. I hope the sounds aren't so bad that you can't hear me completely. I try to watch these videos every time I finish them, and getting those coins is not worth it. Come on. Oh, fine. These spikes move when you do. Yeah, there's a good chance that you try to get those coins, they're basically going to hit you. I'm going to risk something close enough to try to get a blue block. And I did. Oh, but now they're free to move wherever they want, and they are going to hit me when I try to get that box. Come on. Oh, worth it. More full health. Awesome. Now this level basically marks the end of the normal areas of the game. In your first run through, this will be the entire game. You'll beat the depths, you'll go to the depths, you'll beat Mom, and the game will end. And that's the game's first original ending. Oh, this is the greed I mentioned earlier that has eternal flies flying around them. Ugh. Get away. Oh yeah, killed it. It really helps having a lot of damage dishing. There are many other endings to this game, and you'll see some of them as we go through the Let's Play of it. Oh, this is a trinket. The red patch. Every time I take damage, if I have the red patch, every time I take damage, I basically will turn red and start dishing out more damage and turn back. Let's do it. Really? Really? Oh, stupid thing. I'm going to teleport out here rather than take more damage. Even if it takes me to the boss, I can just heal in the boss room, so... There we go. No, it didn't. It took me to these guys. These guys are nasty. They take a lot of hits. They fire those shots that go across the room, and even if you kill them, they'll still be on the return and can still damage you. And each of those chompy mouth things, yeah, they'll do a whole herd of damage. So these guys are especially bad if you're in a situation where you're on a series of narrow, windy paths and have to shoot at them while they shoot at you across a barrier. Or worse, shoot at you behind rocks, where your shots can't get through, but they can keep hitting you. So yeah, they're all around nasty. Oh, another golden chest. Let's see what's in this one. Yeah, I wasted a key, but I got so many it doesn't matter. So yeah, as you can see, the Pact is pretty powerful. Awesome. I didn't get greed this time. And since basically we're almost at the end of the game, money isn't, there's no point in holding on to it, so I might as well spend all the money I can and polish off what's left of my money in hopes of getting more health. Let's do the slot machine real quick. Oh, and him, just spend the money faster, why not? Yeah, usually you get flies. There is an item in game that increases your odds from 1 in 3 to 1 in 2, basically a 50-50 chance with that guy, if you can get that item, but, so, if you do that, he'll have better odds now, or if you get that item that improves his odds, it'll be worth more, it'll be worth more getting him, or using him instead of the slot machine if you have that item, because his odds will actually be better. Awesome, full life, just what I wanted. And do I want to go to the challenge room? Or... oh, now you'll notice that the map is completely appeared. That's what I picked up. The treasure map. The treasure map reveals the map itself without any icons on it. So the compass combined with the map reveals everything all together. The only thing the map does reveal is the primary secret room. That's the one with the white question mark. There's also a secret room, and that one has a dull gray question mark, and they're much harder to find. And I just got one. No, I won't be going back to the gambling parlor. We can examine those last 2 rooms, but there's not a lot of point. I'm going to move on to the end of the game. With a full health pill, I can regain my health in the right during the... no! Oh, didn't move in time. With these guys and with enemies like them, for example, gluttony is similar to those creatures. In fact, basically gluttony is a more powerful version of those. Oh, actually, yeah, this is okay. This is Tammy's head, another dead cat. This one, when you activate it, it spews whatever your shots are, normally, out from you in a burst, and it will take on any effects you've got, such as poison, piercing, etc. Though if you have brimstone, it just shoots normal shots. It doesn't shoot brimstone in every direction. Oh crap. I am a moron. That was so dumb. My finger slipped. Oh, what a way. Now, on we go. Isaac! Yeah, Bigfoot comes out. And they will crush enemies too. Right in the eye. If you can, you'll want to get enemies that are following you to get crushed. Oh man. Oh, that barely hit anything. Yeah, I killed that thing. Isaac! No! Isaac! Oh, I poisoned her. Why don't we start using some bombs here in combat? Watching what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing.
Isaac! Isaac!
We've almost got her down now.
Isaac!
Yeah, you never see Mom in full. She's just bits and pieces trying to kill you. And pretty disgusting ones at that. Look at that leg. It's nasty. And let's heal up. Just because.
Isaac was cornered. His mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
I can't skip these credits, but the music isn't playing right now, so I'll go ahead and give a bit of commentary here on the ending while these credits roll and you get a chance to see the various creatures and what their names are. As you saw, that ending was sort of the, quote, happy ending, unquote, or the way I think Isaac would have wanted it to end, in the sense of, much like the original Abraham and Isaac story, that evil, or not evil, but the sacrifice is halted by divine intervention. And, you know, that's kind of a happy ending version, but we're going to see that obviously the mom opening the door at the very end of that ending implies that's not really what happened. That's kind of the dream ending, and you'll notice the front title screen has changed. That's kind of a dream happy ending for Isaac, and it's our first primary ending. We're going to have a lot of other endings after that. And I'm sure you probably heard those secret unlocked thing during the ending cutscene at the very beginning. They pop up in the background. A cube of meat has appeared in the basement. You've unlocked the Harbingers. The 4 horsemen are loose. Any given boss can now be replaced by one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Once you beat the game once like this, these guys get unlocked. And they are the, each of them are, there's one of them for each of the levels. One for, the basement, one for the depths, or the caves, one for the depths, and one for the womb. Now that you've defeated Mom once, the womb will be unlocked in the next playthrough. So this begins our journey into some of the some of the later levels. The womb being one of the ones that's going to become a pretty common constant, where after you beat Mom at the end of the depths, you then go on to yet another world, which is the womb, literally inside the uterus, which is kind of disgusting when you think about it. But these guys appear, and they can replace at random any boss except Mom, basically. And they will drop you, if you defeat them, they will give you a cube of meat. The cube of meat, once I get it, I'll talk about it a bit in the game, but it's an item, one of the few items that you can get multiple times, and each time you get it, it upgrades into a more powerful version. And you've unlocked the womb. The mother sleeps. Yeah, I don't want to imagine that. This is a child's imagination, as from the writing. Yeah. Oh, Spelunker. that got unlocked because I defeated the basement. That's an item that'll pop up later. It lets you see through the next room. So those are those, and we have the epilogue ending now. So that is our first ending, and there are many endings to come. Most of them center around the womb, because when you defeat the final boss of the womb, which is another aspect of Mother, who you only defeated in the first time you killed her, now you have to fight another part of her at the end of the womb. Once you've done that, and the womb has 2 levels just like every other level or world, but once you do that, you'll start unlocking new endings, and each of them will give you pieces and tidbits of new things. And eventually you'll unlock worlds beyond the womb even. So this gets interesting. And it's really only as we're getting into this that we really start unlocking what's going on behind the story of Isaac. Because a lot of the secrets are revealed in some of the alternate endings. Right now, we've only seen how he kind of wishes it would have ended. But as the endings unfold in the future, we're going to get a different picture of the different characters and figures throughout the game, because we'll start being introduced to other characters and so on and so forth. But the nightmares he has are a pretty good indication of some things already. Obviously they're about terrible things that happen to him, like, you know, getting pooped for Christmas presents, or or being crapped on, or whatever else. One of them you'll notice, it happened in my last run, but we'll see it again, maybe I'll get a chance to point it out then. There's one where Isaac appears to be locked inside a chest and is having trouble breathing, or is hyperventilating. That's going to be important later on, in terms of that. Maybe that might be connected to some of the other stuff. Also, just to note here, none of these guys are unlocked yet, except Isaac. But you're going to notice they use basically the same model as Isaac. And at one point, we even see Isaac, or no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's going to count as another death, oh well. But you'll see Isaac at different points receiving certain items, like one of his dreams, he receives a wig that looks suspiciously like the wig on one, or the hair of one of the characters named Maggie. He'll have another piece of apparel that he gets at another point. These items seem to kind of imply that all the other characters you can play as are all versions of Isaac, or at least most of them are. Various alternate identities of Isaac. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.